and mirrors. This episode is brought to you by pants. If I put some on, it's almost like I'm not actually depressed. Pants. And now here's the song. Neolibs to the left of me and autocrats to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. And now here they are, your invenerable host, Carlos Kareem Wyndham. What's up, fam bams? 420, let's do it. That very offensive Jamaican dance hall air horn is how we know we're all here. How you doing? It is good to be here with you. We do have a guest coming up today. I will bring them to the screen soon. I can see him. You can't. You know, everybody. It's amazing to. We'll talk about it. I'm an old smoker. I don't know how to do nothing right. Hey, this record. I got one. I have a couple with different groups, and one with the Boulder Police. But this record is with a group called Wallace, and it's called "And We Ride," and that's the title track. And I'm on it, and man, I'm so talented. You should check that out. That's a good time. Hey. This is Smoke and Mirrors, as I said, and if you wanna be part of this community here under the Philosopher's Tree, that's what we call them when we're having our chats. Many of those are just me talking at this microphone because I have lost my fucking mind, but many more are with guests, and we're doing a thing. Some of the people who like to do the thing like to drop 5 on it. That is not required. Please don't. I will not bogart. But if you wanted to pass this around, we call that passing the J. You can do that for free. You do that by sharing it on your Facebook, sharing it. You can't share it on your YouTube. You could share a YouTube link. You could do that. You could smash a like and subscribe and do the things you're supposed to do on the tubes of the U. You want to drop 5. If you wanted to drop 5 on it, you could do that at Venmo at Carlos-Wyndham, Cash App, $CK Wyndham, PayPal /me.CK Wyndham, Wyndham with the I, not the slaveholders with the Y. I think they made a better investment than the jazz records since no one listens to jazz or records. And if you wanted to become a patron, you could do that too. That's the Patreon group is called Smoke and Mirrors CCB. That is comedy, culture, and blackness. And if you wanted to jump on there, you just go to the Patreon. Some of the people who have: Ruthie, Erica, Amber, Aaron, Seth, Lisa, Kristen, Renisa, Michael, Natalie, Juliet, Tarika. I'm going faster than the runner. I'm sorry. It's Tracy, Venus, and Jen. It's the extra tendon in my tongue. If you become a subscriber, you get to hold your very own Carlos Wyndham 2020 trading card, which I guess is only useful for the rest of this year. And will not be redeemable next year. I don't know what you would redeem it for, but proof of purchase of enabling me to do whatever the fuck this is. So thank you for that is what I meant. I meant thank you. Oh, I'm an old smoker. That's what I said. That's what I was talking about. Because what I realized is that my guestesses always, mostly, are not smoking in the ways that I'm smoking. Everybody's fancy. If you were here yesterday, there was some off-screened smoking with something. I don't even know what the fuck it was. It looked like out of Star Wars, and it kept getting held up to their hand like a fist. It looked like a lighter or something. And going back to when Queen was here, right? She had that fancy ass long cigarette stem holder shit. And now I'm here with another friend of mine who I'm surprised about several things about the fact that we're here. Not that we're here, not that we're talking. We talk, we're here. Other pieces are more of a surprise. Other pieces are less of a surprise. And we'll get into all of that now. As I introduce to you, my friend, James Rodden, coming to the screen. If I find the right buttons, there they are. There he is. Hey! What's going on, family?
So good to see you, man.
So incredibly wonderful to see you. So incredibly wonderful to see you for so many reasons. It's good to see you. It's good to see you.
And smoke with you,
Yeah,
or
what
or hey.
is happening with that? I love knowing what is your current smoke state is smoking. So that is clear to me. When not last, but a couple of times ago we saw each other, your state was non-smoking.
Yes.
What is your smoking journey that's brought you to this place of the smoking? As I sip my warm bevy.
Well, what? I don't know. I guess I started again a few years ago, and I'm usually like on or off.
I started again a few years ago. Yes,
Like, and so
fair,
I've been on
fair.
for like 4 years,
Okay,
basically.
okay, nice.
Um, but I only get high like once a day,
Yeah.
and then I stay high the rest of the day.
Just can't let the high fly. What precipitated that? Because I
But what
know.
about you?
Oh,
You've been
I've been
consistent.
consistent.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I've been consistent. It's you know, I found out that it is part of how I treat my MS, and I learned that um, after being diagnosed. I hadn't realized that part of why I could smoke with my friends and smoke enough to allegedly smoke them to sleep and then take their marijuanas and pipes and leave, allegedly, is that it doesn't affect me the same way because of the way the MS is carrying in me. It's not in
Wow.
my spine. It's not in my body. It's in my brain, and
Huh.
it keeps me tempered. I'd be thinking super fast, a little edgy, a little angry. Yeah, yeah, but no, it's been consistent. I think since I'm about it's a long time
30 years, right?
or
Like,
more. Yeah,
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 yeah.
no,
Isn't that crazy?
30 years exactly. Yeah, because 19 was when I really it became a regular but habitual, and I would say dependency. There was certainly a time where there were addictive behaviors, but finding out that it was actually about medical dependency, both behind ADHD and behind my MS,
Mm-hmm.
was
That's
incidental
that's deep.
learning. Really, yeah, yeah. So it's been pretty consistent for me. My brain. You could scrape that out for a nice resin bowl if you needed.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. I know I'm self-medicating too. I just don't know what the diagnoses are.
Yeah.
So,
So you're
like,
not doing the therapies yet? No therapies yet?
no, no, no.
Oh, come on. Why
I've
are you
never had
saying
the
it like
money.
that? Don't say it like that. Is the okay? Do you
No,
still
no, no,
don't have the money though?
no. I say it like regretfully.
Okay.
Uh, I
Okay.
don't mean to,
Is that
like I
still the
still like I'm
circumstance?
and a little bit guiltily. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Well,
I hope
that's why
that's
I'm asking. I'm like, you could do it now though, right? Like you could find therapy dot whatever, whatever. I mean, we can't go in anywhere, but
yeah.
if you wanted.
Well, so I was hoping I could just come on this show every week So anyway, let's move on.
Ah!
No, no, no. I'm cool with talking about like my deep need for therapy and my avoidance of it.
I
I had
think.
one exposure like way back,
Did you?
um, but um,
But okay, all right, okay. So
I should allow someone else a chance at me.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Like we ain't talking about way back. We're not talking about those kinds of, uh, um, shall we say, deeply encouraged therapies. I'm talking about just going. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Ain't
right.
nobody suggested it on no pieces of paper for no reasons. You just going. You just going.
Like you, you think I'm the type to resist therapy just because the state ordered me into it? Come on,
What?
man.
What? Who's an anti-authoritarian? What? Doesn't that
Come
doesn't
on,
track?
come on.
That doesn't track. Yeah, no, it took me a long time. Hey, what's up? Erica Merwin is here with myself and James Rodden.
What's up, y'all?
Speaking of people we known for 30 years on. How you
Yeah,
doing, family?
Erica.
For sure, for
Uh,
sure.
so wait, so I don't know. Do you have a map here, or is it okay to
No,
just
we're
flow?
just talking.
Okay, cool,
We're
cool.
just talking. There's no map.
Okay. So the last time we saw each other
Yeah.
was in person. Was it? I think in Boulder. Like, yeah, it must have been 4+ years ago.
Oh shit, that's right. That's right. That's right. Okay,
No,
I
no,
had
no,
taken it
because
back
we went to a
further to
protest
Denver.
together.
Oh,
We
that's
went to a
yep.
protest together.
We did.
Oh, and
We did.
I remember the issue from the protest. All right, let's talk about that real quick.
We
So,
did.
so, so we went to a protest that was kind of moderate, right? Like I
Indeed.
forget who called it. Who called it? Oh shit. Um, Lisa Calderon was one of the people behind it.
Okay.
Who's kind of um,
So this
oh,
is
I
in
don't
Denver.
know.
We were at a protest in Denver, just to be
In
clear.
Denver. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
And anyway, so yeah, it was in Denver. It was sort of at the tail end of Black Lives Matter round one,
Hmm.
um, where militancy had died down, you know. And anyway, we had a sign that I had made that said, "Put these cops on a leash,"
Indeed.
and it was basically some kind of oversight. Like they were going for like some kind of additional oversight, which I'm not
Right.
a huge proponent of, to be honest. I don't think the cops can be overseen.
Right.
um, uh, but anyway, so yeah, but then we were asked to move out of the frame of their pictures at
Yeah.
that protest. It was a small like uh, thing because that slogan was a little much.
Little provocative for their tastes.
Yeah.
I get a lot of that. It amazes me, and because I think one of the things that's maintained our relationship, our friendship for so long is that shared experience of just being complete anti-authoritarian provocateurs who are just really petty. And
Yeah.
I'll take it
Yeah.
further than you, bro. I
Dope.
promise. It's just I'm gonna take it further than you. Whatever you think you're gonna do, I'm gonna go further than that. I don't wanna.
Well,
I don't wanna.
I'm with it.
You
I'm
know what
with
I'm
it.
saying? You know that. You know
And
that. You
and
know that
and
feeling. Yeah.
like I want to draft off of your sales or whatever like
Listen.
get
Listen.
behind your semi truck going 90 on the freeway
Hey,
and
that's the appropriate
be
tool
right behind you.
to decapitate skinheads in Denver. Anyway, that's little Colorado history for people. Uh, Look it up.
Did
I
you
don't know.
did you
We've
get into
referenced
it
it.
with skins in high school?
Oh, dude. Oh, it was yeah. No, we had
Not,
skin. I had
not
skinheads
only
in my math
to my
class.
skinhead friends. Sorry. There's
Yeah.
there's skinheads who are like, no, that's to use the word skinhead is an anti-racist thing. It comes from Jamaica and Jamaican culture
Right.
in the
Right. Right.
UK. Um, and so sometimes my
Break it down.
skinhead friends will correct me and say, "You mean boneheads?" which automatically means Nazi. So anyway, sorry to interrupt.
Okay. So what
I had run it with them too, but I
I
always called them skinheads.
yeah, no, when you know what it was. Like it was is when we were growing up, it was like, yeah, you know, you just a skinhead Nazi. I mean, it is what it
Yeah.
is. And yeah, no, there was this kid in my math class. It was horrible.
Hmm.
I talked about it. I don't think no, I don't think I talked about it here. I was doing a storytelling event recently and was talking about my first tattoo was actually at the at at the skinhead headquarters in unincorporated Thornton in 1990 and two 1990 1990, I don't know, somewhere in there. Very accidental, incidental thing, right? I mean, if you were getting a tattoo right then, it wasn't a circumstance of like, I want to go to the mall and get a tattoo and a smoothie. Let's go. You know, like you were
It's
going
a
to
little
deal with some
different then.
people. It was
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
And so I did the phone book thing instead of the reference, which, you know, fuck up, and ended up getting dropped off at the shop and lucked out because the very person about whom I was just referring, to whom I was just referring, who got decapitated on his motorcycle years later, notoriously,
Whoa.
walked into the shop after having been called, and it was announced that I was there, and looked down and said, "Well, the only color in here is green today. Do the work, let him pay," and walked back out. And so I didn't. I got to live that day. I don't know why,
Jeez.
but it went my way that day. So
Wow.
yeah, and then of
Wow.
course the notorious Denver Capitol Hill Columbus Day encounter. That
You were
was
there.
yes, yes,
So
allegedly.
I didn't. And what year was that?
Oh God, that was later. That was probably like 93, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, 93, 94 ish, somewhere in there. Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, so
Anyway.
around that time though, right, you have done a journey in your work in the community, right? And your commitment to community. And the first awareness that I have of you really throwing down skin in the game race-traitor style is 92 in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you talk? Are you allowed to talk about what went down or how that
Yeah.
went down?
Yeah. No, I like you will have to restrain me because I love to talk about
Oh,
that.
break it! No, please,
But
yeah, give it to us,
I mean, I love talking about being a young, young person,
right?
like
Oh
those
my
days.
God, my
Um,
butthole was in such good shape. Telling you,
um, yeah, yeah. But yeah, Rodney King got beat, and
yeah,
then I lived in LA. I was 20, and or what was I? 92. So I was 20. I would turn 21 that year. So I was
21.
20.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was 20 uh, in the spring, and yeah, I don't know. Like we went out there, like the at the downtown headquarters was kind of more of a protest scene, and me and my best friend went out there, and smoked a joint on the way, rolled a couple more. Um, uh, had planned to like skateboard and write revolutionary spray paint revolutionary slogans around the city, that like because we figured we could get away with it. We
Okay,
weren't really activists, or we we hadn't found a way to plug into like uh, anti-police work then and anti-racist work then. I was a white kid on a college campus and had done anti-war stuff, but really like the anti, you know, the, there hadn't been a huge movement that allowed people to get kind of politicized in a fight, at least that I was aware of. You know what I mean? I'm sure there must have been, but I wasn't connected to that. Right. But anyway, like, yeah, we went out there and yeah, it was fucking awesome. It was great. The city came off the hinges for days, and the whole fucking world did, and it should, you know. And I loved to see it at the time, and I'm still very much here for a fucking black rebellion. You know what I mean? A black and brown rebellion. That's one thing about the riots. They were way browner than what people think, you know, because LA is, you know, and like, in other words, the Chicano participation in the riots and the Latinx participation in the riots is, you know, was heroic and deserves, you know, respect and recognition, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So, well, certainly more than that bullshit Eva Longoria was pushing. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be clear in terms of, like, you know, to me, that's always part of what's amazing, right? And even thinking about, like, the folks who we considered celebrities on any level then, right? And how they showed up then. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think of, like, in particular, you're talking about the Chicano community. So to my mind, automatically, I'm thinking of remembering seeing Edward James Olmos in the streets, right? Both in the marches and in the cleanups. Yeah. And thinking about, like, that kind of energy, and then seeing this bullshit that, like, the Eva Longorias of the world do, right? In terms of trying to, like, claim Latinx dominance in an electoral vote, like somehow that's leading to the liberation of the people of the. I'm like, what are we doing now? What are we doing? This just got weird. I knew it was gonna get weird. Now you fucking got weird, and now it's weird.
I remember, I remember, to me, the only celebrity voices that I remember that came out of the riots, were like pacifiers. You know, they were but maybe I'm just not remembering who came out and was like.
He's the only one I remember at the top.
Ice Cube,
yeah, you know? Well, yeah. Which wow.
You know,
that's a change of position.
Hip hop in general.
But let's be real, though. Okay, so that I think that is worth saying, though, because it is true, and I think that it is worth stating that the reason that a artistically held in amber, resonated in amber, kind of an artist of Generation X, right, who is that age and watching that political transformation, which of course is just money, right? I mean, there's nothing else to it.
You're talking about Cube being a Trump.
Oh my God.
Yeah, trying to orient toward Trump or whatever.
Bootlicking.
I mean, it's just like Easy. Remember Easy getting the $5,000 plate at the GOP dinner?
Sure do.
You know, I mean,
sure do.
We can't look to even our heroes. You know,
Garbage.
I mean, you've been on this tip since social media has been around.
Yeah.
Like, and what's your, like, you probably got like a couple hashtags about it. But
just all our favorites are trash.
Garbage.
All our favorites are trash. All our favorites are trash. You got a favorite? Scratch the lottery ticket for 25 minutes on the inner tubes. You're going to see real quick. That person is trash.
Yes. Yes. And so what do we do with that? Like, we gotta get over it and not stop saying they're trash, but also, like, I gotta listen to Michael Jackson. You know, I have to. You know what I mean? I gotta listen to. I don't have to listen to Bowie. To be honest, I'm a little hurt. I'm still mad at Bowie because I found out the day he died.
Okay. See, Michael hurt me for because I was groomed.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I was groomed. I was a 12-year-old boy, right, with a mausoleum to Michael Jackson in my room.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing two things: one, that he was grooming an entire nation, an entire world, to position himself as this little lost boy, to give himself access to sick white children,
Yeah.
is bananas,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Falling for that is part of what's rough. The other part of what's rough about that is that because he was such a racist, he never would have chosen me.
Fuck.
He never would have chosen me. I
Yeah.
have a jacket. I knew the dances. He didn't give a shit. He would have left me on the curb. Fuck Michael
Mm-hmm.
Jackson.
Hell yeah. Hell
Should
yeah.
have diddled me
And
too.
also,
That's disgusting.
off the
Never.
wall, fucking
Listen,
slays to this day.
I come up with excuses for off the wall. I come up with all sorts of excuses. No, he
Yeah.
didn't really have power yet. He was probably only like fucking people in Studio 54. Like he was 18. What he is fine.
Okay, so like, oh man, there's so much to talk about. You were trying to set me up to tell like a heroic riot story.
Oh, you
And
can
I
tell your
started to,
heroic
but it
riot
takes too
story in a
long,
minute.
but
We'll get there in a second. Because all of this is related. Because there's a bigger question I'm going to ask you in a
yes,
second. Go ahead.
exactly. But to me, okay, so we've had a journey together, like with mutual influence over the years, like comings and goings and going up and down, and we lost touch for a long time too, but got reconnected. And
Right.
anyway, but I feel like, we were politicized by hip hop,
Deeply.
right? Like,
Deeply.
it was super important to I know our mutual politicization,
I think yes and, right? Yes and. So for me, certainly it informed the
not necessarily
articulation.
officially politicized, but
Right? Like it informed the
Right.
articulation of a politic that continued to then reinforce, reify, and grow that politic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But in terms of, right, was it key and a key tool, if not determinant, in my politics? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And me too, as especially like being a white dude and like, I don't know, like appreciating that, the black CNN,
Yeah.
really, of hip hop overall. But anyway, it was really important to me too. And like, anti-racist struggle was really what made me become a communist, and politicize me. So, but yeah, so the riot. So we were talking about the riots, and then Ice Cube, and then Michael Jackson, and like Ice Cube going to Trump, and how, and then like kind of more. One thing I wanted to say is, there's a tendency to moralize about our consumer behavior, and to consider our consumer choices,
Right.
like what we buy, what we eat, what we drive, what we listen to, as having some great moral weight, and then we moralize about other people's choices,
Right.
And so like there's a feeling of guilt about enjoying art from an artist who's garbage as a human being. One of the various ways people can be garbage as
Right.
human beings.
Absolutely.
And so I think, like, I don't know, I'd like to reject that. I have a hard time doing it. I'm not consistent. You know what I mean? I have my own fucking issues, but I would like to say none of that this is all just human muck, and
Yeah.
it's okay to to, I don't know, was Sean Connery Me Too'd? Probably. I don't remember. I didn't even look it up, but
Yeah, no, he's garbage. He was garbage. He was
yeah,
garbage. He was garbage. I can't with him. But here's the thing for me, right? On that, right? And again, it's not a but. I think I would add to that and contribute to that the idea of one, absolutely appreciating the nuance, right? And knowing that I also, oh, you know what? This light is too bright. Look at that. That looked like shit for that reason. I was like, why does my sweater look like a goddamn? There we go. Vain. That the nuance of humanity, certainly, absolutely, right? Where it gets tricky for me is when, because of white supremacist capitalist patriarchy, these dudes in particular are then able to translate their trauma into structural and systemic abuse built
yeah.
on a throne of their art. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes. But how do we fight the root thing? Can we fight it by not purchasing?
I don't know if we can. I think we can. No, I don't think we can. I think, well, I don't know, because right now the one that we know that is doing it is Drake, and this motherfucker's all over the charts. So
Like a boycott.
you know what I'm saying? By denying a contemporary artist, there is a thing that can be done to influence their behavior. That's a living person,
Yeah.
right? Who we know is a pedophile, who we know be bringing little 15-year-old girls up on stage and then backstage, okay? Who's been told openly multiple times, watch your motherfucking behavior, and then shows up with the motherfucker who beat Rihanna, right? After that's the same girl that broke up with him and broke his heart. Drake messy as a motherfucker, right? And he just walking around here being a billionaire, hanging out with Kevin Hart and these niggas right now.
He should be called out. He should be called out.
You know,
like, at every turn. He should be. I totally agree with that.
In real time, it matters to me deeply, right?
Yeah. And I've actually been involved in like protests of performing artists. Like
Right.
who's the Colorado dude? Oh shit, I can't remember his name now. He's in is that Hacker? Is that show called Hackers?
Oh, Miller.
Yeah, T.J. Miller.
T.J. Miller. That motherfucker. Fuck that dude.
Yeah. I got with a current Denver communist and a bunch of other comrades.
Yeah.
We protested his show and made some trouble. It was fun.
What is that? Okay, so let me ask you this, because here's a thing that comes up for me. One of the things that we've shared in common is that you had spent some successful time on stage, which is why I would bring it up at all, right? Because a lot of people like just get up and dabble and fuck around, and it's cute, and I like it. I'm when I say that, I am not being dismissive. When I say some shit is cute, I like that means some shit, right? So a lot of motherfuckers get up and dabble and it's cute, and I mean that. I'm talking about people who go into their little weekend acting class, people who taking their first little improv class. Little open micers trying to get their little tight 3 minutes. It's cute. I like it. I'm not against it. Okay. You were at a different thing, right? You had some people and y'all was taking stage with an improv troupe. What was that troupe called?
Governor Jack. Yeah.
Okay. And y'all was making some noise. So you were in at least in Denver comedy within that immediate scene, a somewhat known quotient. What does it mean for you to put yourself on the other side of that, right? Because once politically, and the reason I ask is because people have come up in here asking me shit about Dave Chappelle and shit. I'm like, Nick, do we really? I mean, shit, I'm gonna tell you what I think, but really, maybe that might not be the best thing for me to be talking about.
Yeah, cancel.
Right.
It's fucking canceled, right? Yeah.
Right, because that's the bullshit. They talk about all this cancel culture bullshit.
Funny on Saturday Night Live. I'm not here for it. See, I'm with you. I'm with you. Like, despite what I was arguing, like I'm the same way. I can't fuck with people. Like, I just can't. I can't bring myself to do it. It's more of just a personal disgust. But it's inconsistent, also.
Of course.
Sorry to interrupt. So you were saying, yeah, Governor Jack. Yeah, we were, we were running the game for a little while, I would say, like in terms of improv.
I'd say
in the city.
In Denver for sure, yeah. In Denver for sure, yeah.
We had a really hot show, and we were doing like game improv, which is more like a certain school of improv. God damn, I'm fucking faded. I am faded. I'll tell you that. I saved my first one today. And I'm super high. So I'm forgetting names. That's
that makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. I love that.
But anyway, so yeah, we were it was fun. We were good improvisers, and we took it very seriously. But like for me, I came to a point where I got pulled back into activism, and I had to just make a choice. And so I quit improv. To dedicate that extra time to activism, and this was like, like Trayvon and happened in the middle, and like, there were all these things like we could be pulled into the fight at any point, because you and I have been doing this since we were teenagers, like in terms of being an activist. And,
real talk.
Yeah, all that. So, but, like I had gone back and forth, like Occupy kind of pulled me out every time Bush invaded Iraq.
Something, anything in the Middle East, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, like around the time of, actually it was before Mike Brown got killed and before Eric Garner got killed, but and before Israel, like some of my first things, like when I first became an organized socialist is what I'm saying. That was in 2014.
So when you made that transition, right, and I'm asking this obviously because I've chosen, and I don't know how long it's sustainable. I have no idea, right? To try to create as much immediate liberation for myself and liberation for my community concurrently, hopefully, by remaining in the movement, by figuring out what I can do to elevate the movement as a cultural worker, primarily, I'd have to say, right? And as a teacher, organizer, secondarily, but concurrently, right? And within cultural worker to be doing a bunch of different things, even at that, right? So whatever, right? Music and comedy and ba 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 ba. When you transitioned, was there a moment for you in terms of being like, yo, because I know it's harder to do it in improv, right? As a group, you can't all of a sudden be like, all right, give us a subject. Ice cream, great. Pop, 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 pop. That can't be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You can't. Right.
And then the cops came. That can't be
Yeah, and I mean, like, definitely, like, hopefully some politics came out in improv. You know what I mean? But you're trying to be funny, and you're trying to. It's a different thing, and like, I would say, yeah, it's a funny thing. Like, I think certainly like some skills translate, like in terms of being a performer. Like, I'm not the least comfortable on a mic. I could be on a mic. I could give a speech. I can give a talk to a class. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I also had to develop the political confidence to do that too, and maintain that political confidence. That's like kind of almost more important than just being
I
being a
see. So for
performer.
you, it was like getting the chops in terms of the depth, right? Like, yeah, I mean
And
the
for
political
the read the
confidence.
right
That's what you're talking
situation,
about.
like like I do have the confidence of a mediocre white guy. you know, like I already fucking have that confidence. You know what I mean? And so like sometimes it's more like, oh, I gotta figure out when to shut the fuck up. I gotta figure out when to not let anyone tell me to shut the fuck up. Um, and sometimes it's a fucking journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's got to
But
be. I mean,
but
how did?
but like
Go ahead.
sorry, just to continue, like the comedy thing, like I don't know, like I definitely like to bring humor to propaganda,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like for instance when we did the last month when we did the BLM Antifa soup drive. Like the soup itself is, a joke. But then we put,
Such a fucking troll
uh,
move. I love it. That I mean, talk about fucking petty. That is just genius.
it was great. It was great. And then we put soup cans on on the flyer launching into the Greek amphitheater in Denver, which is where we knew the fascists would be, the far right would be, and they were. But we had soup cans with like rainbows. One had a rainbow, one had the red, black, and green flag, and one had a red and black flag coming out of it. And so yeah, that's when we confronted the fascists. That's when the dude got shot afterwards. The racist dude got dropped by the security guard. You heard about that?
Yeah, yeah.
That was after that, but but anyway, one person did throw a soup can. It was a total joke. But one person did throw a soup can, but the cops were standing so far back it didn't even like get.
Right. I'm sure not. I'm sure not.
You can't throw soup. It's too heavy.
Yeah, doesn't go
No.
anywhere. His policy. He's a liar. There's no. I'm like, come on. Where's the Civil War, motherfucker? Like bureaucratic fucking snafuism. That's what you got. You're gonna fucking
Yeah.
You're gonna stall and like grift white people some more and fucking shred documents and dip. That's the plan. You're not gonna hand over the keys. Not gonna hand over the files. Nothing. Just gonna shred everything and fucking bounce, huh?
I need to check in just for the lulls, but there was a Biden staffer who said something like the reporter was like, so Trump is saying that he's going to like barricade himself with Secret Service into the White House, and Biden was just like, the White House is used to dealing with unwanted people. We can get his ass the fuck out.
Right. Right.
And I thought that was great. I mean, I think that that's actually the truth. The security apparatus is going to just transfer power just perfectly smoothly.
Yeah.
Maybe some court chatter will happen, but these right wingers that are, I mean, because it is unprecedented. Like these fucking Republicans being like, no,
they are trying
he's
hard
going to be
to go to jail. They are trying hard to go to
legal
prison.
Votes. But Biden would never do it though. Biden would.
Oh, Biden
would
no,
pardon
he
Trump.
won't. He's gonna pardon fucking everybody.
Yeah.
He's gonna pardon everybody. Oh, so we can heal. We have to heal.
Right. Which, okay, bringing us back to Rodney King, can't we all just get along?
Yeah.
And this is the same thing that always gets said. There's a rebellion, and no coincidence, it's a largely black rebellion. Although I would say Black Lives Matter round 2 has been much wider, which is a good and a bad thing. To me, I like to see the movements get as broad as they can, but it brings political problems.
I mean, it brings political problems, but I think one of the political realities that I don't think most people are ready for is the fact that, right, to me, when I know that Patrice, that Opal, that Alicia have moved off, right? Have left off. And that it's now I'm doing Black Futures Lab. I've released a book on like moving power, right? These sisters out here in these real streets doing the real work. That the hashtag that they created that DeRay Mickelson tried to steal and made a whole lot of money off of. God bless him. And that has continued to be the inspiration now for openly and actively minded race traders to take to the streets,
Yeah,
on your own behalf, and to put your bodies on the line. That I aside from the fact that it's called BLM and that folks do not like to acknowledge that language is living,
plastic. Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
the ultimately, right, it's two realities, right? One, we need more John Browns and fewer John Boltons, and this is how you create that. Second, that white people take everything. If we say anything, y'all gonna do it. And so it's like it's the Osmond effect. Like, nigga, okay, look, Puppy Love came out, so y'all got to sing something sexier than ABC now. It's not gonna work no more because Donny Osmond and his brothers are out here talking about some Puppy Love bullshit. So now y'all got to sing Dancing Machine because we got to let's up the stakes. You know what I mean? And so we out here trying to move the Dancing Machine, trying to get motherfuckers elected, trying to get motherfuckers in offices, trying to get motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, let it, yeah.
So that's the tension, and that's such a key fucking tension as a white person and a Black liberationist. You know what I mean? Which is absolutely what I consider myself. Like, as a communist, I'm a fucking Black liberationist. You know, but how do I? But navigating that tension is really important. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And being cognizant of it and sensitive. So, you know, I don't know how else to do things, but a couple things that you said is like white people, becoming race traders. I love that language so much. Comes from Noel Ignatieff, who had a journal, Marxist dude in Britain, who had a journal called that. Well, anyway, you said on your own behalf, and to me that's the key is recognizing that it's in our own self-interest as white working class people to fight against racism, to reject the attempt to get us to identify with white people in general, rather than with people of our class. Like, and so like, we got white people out here identifying with Trump.
Yeah.
We got white people out here identifying with Bill Gates, or like, and that's like, that's a veil over their eyes.
Yeah.
That's not seeing the realities of the world and how it works. And so anyway, that's sort of like one of the kind of like the Marxist takes on the struggle against racial oppression and racist ideology.
So here's one of the things that I am always that I struggle with, right? It is not the clearly pattern of either adoption or child thievery in terms of the ideas of liberation, the frameworks, whichever.
Yeah.
Because I don't care. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. As long as we get free, whatever. I don't care. Um, there is, okay, also I'm going to say a thing right now, and I will be able to come back to this. You were saying earlier how ridiculous it is that we've gotten an age where our glasses slip down to the edges of our nose, and mine have. And so I'm just going to go ahead and fix that. That, what I do find myself have a harder time adopting are theologies that are both attributed to and lionized in terms of whether they did have class distinction or not, end up being a canon of dead white dudes. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's
Mm-hmm.
like this international argument around, well, is it the economic theologies of these white people that we want to follow, or how about the ones of these white people that we want to follow? And to me,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, why? Where do y'all get these binaries from? That, and not obviously not that that's the draw to you for Leninism or wherever, but the draw of the binary in that overall tautology of political thought, right? We're going back and forth between these two, and this one is freedom and this one's and even that is like, well, yeah, but maybe having an economic system at all that is based in, maybe that's an issue too. And I don't know how to square that circle.
Man,
How have you squared that circle?
Yeah. I mean, like, so I feel you, but most of the world doesn't. Like, most of the world has been like, yes, this is a great tool for understanding and changing the world. Yeah. I'm going to fucking pick up a gun and use it, and pick up a book and use it, more importantly. And I'm talking about Marxism.
Yeah.
But it is a real fucking sticking point for folks. And I don't, like, I would like to get better at arguing about it. But one thing that I hear people say is, well, what about fucking Isaac Newton? Are we going to just reject like science, things that have come to us from dead white people, based on that? Like, do we reject the theory of relativity? And
yeah, I mean,
Marxism,
okay, so
tends to be science, and I think it has a good claim to that, to be honest. In fact, that's
I wouldn't
part of what
argue
we're
that.
Be talking about tomorrow night at the
Right.
Denver Communist meeting, about how Marxism is a science. But anyway.
Yeah, no, I don't, and I wouldn't argue that either, right? But even when we start getting on that, the slope still is slippery, right? Because the argument, and again, for me, it's not an argument; it's more of a question, right? But the what gets sticky about that political position, for me, is that is the same political position that is taken by white people around keeping up statues and Confederate flags. Do you know what I'm saying? Because again, the ideas.
Well, I'm not. I think tear down the Confederate flags and destroy bad white ideas. Absolutely, bad ideas that came from Europe, and
right.
But I don't think that. But I do think that Marx understood capitalism, the mode of production that we're living under, in a way that no one else has, and Lenin happened to pick up that tool and take it further, in ways that I think are massively significant, particularly to the struggles of the oppressed. And that's why this issue bothers me so much, because this is a these are weapons that belong in the hands of the oppressed, most of all, all the exploited, every worker, every proletarian all around the world, but particularly the oppressed, who are also, the vast majority of the proletariat. So it bothers me, and I want to make it my personal mission to get better at responding to that, with you, to convince you personally.
Well, let's keep massaging. We've been working on it for a minute. I mean, and I hear what you're saying, right? I mean, philosophically, that's not even the argument for me. It's just attaching myself to declamatory again binary sides. And I understand there's teams, right? I understand that to a degree there is a sport to it, right? In the same way that, like, I'm not fit to try and fuck off and do some shit during an election where we're trying to decide whether or not we're gonna live under fascism and a Nazi and not vote and be cute. Like, I'm not fit to do that, right? That's not me. The other part of it, though,
that's me.
Yeah, which I know, right?
I voted for all the proposals.
Bless your heart.
So I burned my ballot on video for a little propaganda piece, and then I went and I got another ballot, and I voted for all the proposals, and I voted no for every fucking judge, because fuck a judge, ACAB, you know what I mean? Socialists don't support judges. Like, don't try to tell me. And DAs and sheriffs and prosecutors, we say fuck them all. They're all cops. That was our last fight also, because I was calling Kamala a KKK. I was spelling her name with 3 Ks or something. Or no, I said she was a KKK cop. And
my fight was because you was fighting with motherfuckers on my page. I was like, come on, stop, because you're gonna mess up my page. It's getting ugly up in here. What fuck is y'all doing? Take this to y'all page. Go take this to y'all shit.
Okay, cool. Yeah, forget
that. That was my issue with y'all. And we were talking about this before too. As with my people, and I'm talking about shit, I can't even remember his goddamn little Twitter name. I have a light-skinned Latino friend with the good politics over on Twitter, and I had said some stupid shit to him, and someone tried to jump in the conversation and defend me and all the things, and I'm like, whoa, y'all don't know what's going on here. And that was a waste of time for you. That was a waste of time for them. I was like, come on, this ain't even no real shit. Stop it. Y'all all on the same side. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. There's Nazis to go troll. Come on, stop it. We got Nazis to troll. Yeah. I need 15 Nazi scalps.
So I want to, I agree. Fuck it all. I get mad at the time, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I do too. No, I get ridiculous. That, as I was saying, we both got that. That's the shit. Like, hey, don't you corner me? I'm fucking getting everybody. Yeah, we getting everybody.
So you were saying, can't we all just get along? Or we were talking about, can't we all just get along? And now
I was saying, can't we all just get along? Fuck you. I was saying, can't we all just get along? I wasn't saying that. Don't even phrase that like that. This shit is on video. This is recorded. Don't say that. There you go.
We were talking about them wheeling out, they hypnotized Rodney King.
Yes.
And they wheeled him out.
While he was high out of his head, while he had just been beating his head. Just ridiculous.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, bloodshot ass eye. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I guess Biden and the Democrats, I don't really know, but have been saying reconciliation and something else, compromise maybe.
Oh, it's so gross. It's so gross.
I think we have to be clear, like that's the same fucking mechanism at play, and it serves power. It doesn't, Rodney King just put his face on it. And in the Democrats' case, I mean, you know, they put the blue on and
Right.
and they say it, you know, and they get people to believe it for that reason. But like what it means is shut up and fucking take it and stop complaining. You know, that's what "can we all just get along" meant. And reconciliation means we're not gonna roll back what they did.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
And
It
that's the
means
biggest problem. We're not going to roll back what they did.
Most of what they did in
Yes.
place. That's that ratchet effect, right? You've seen that meme where the Republicans ratchet to the right, and then the Democrats, you know, they have
Just
the
move over.
the infographic with the ratchet, you know, preventing it from going back to the left far. You know, has that little catch.
Yeah, it's insane.
So, anyway,
it's insane.
right.
I mean, that's exactly their plan, and that's exactly the hustle. And like we both agree. I mean, you know, and ultimately, right? That's why, for me, you know, again, the sharpening of the language, the sharpening of the tools, the sharpening of the ideas with people who are actually in the struggle, who are trusted people, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that you know, again, you had to earn. Like, you know, I'm from Boulder. Ain't no white boy from Evergreen just up in my circle just because they near me. That don't mean shit. Like, what? Who is this? You know what I'm saying? As Aaron, who was on the show, as Michael, who was on the show, and when I say on the show,
Aaron
that's
was on the
even
show?
white people. Yeah. Oh, no, different Aaron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But as with the white folks who
I was like, you put fucking Aaron on this show before me?
no, get the fuck out of here. I love you, Aaron. Listen,
Yeah,
I know
love-
you
love
at work.
you too.
I know
Love
you
you
ain't. I know you ain't doing social medias. I know you at work, and you're doing your families and whatever the fuck else. But if your eyes come across this, we both love you, and go fuck yourself. No, we love you. You know what it is. You know why. You know what it is. That's the go fuck yourself of love. Only friends can say that. No, it's the thing of like earning the trust through long-term engaged relationship, right? And so I guess the last question the last question, like I have fucking questions sitting around like it's an interview and shit. The question,
Are we getting to time now or something?
we're getting close to, I don't give a shit. We're talking.
Yeah.
We're talking because this is not a short question. I'm not, you know. We've been talking about an hour. I don't give, you know, we've gone, I think the longest time I've talked to somebody, Tab and I talked too long. We did 2.5 hours. That was a little much.
Nobody watched it. That's the only problem.
Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, no. And normally that's what happens too.
Stick around. We'll talk.
That's it. We rap and we just keep going.
But it's better if we're short. Yeah, I get it.
No, we ain't. Don't be pithy. I got a serious question. So you being a white person from Evergreen, is that correct?
You really hit the H on that.
But do you know why? Because it keeps my teeth this clean. It's like a breath freshener. It's like Banaka.
Yeah. I grew up in Evergreen mostly. Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
How? No.
How?
Why? Let me go back to why. Both did blackness influence and liberate you toward becoming who you are, as opposed to the programming that is offered in a mountain town like Evergreen, Colorado? How does that happen for you, my friend?
I mean, I could give my own personal story. I wish I could recreate it for other people. That's what I really want to do as a revolutionary, is how do we intervene in a way to make people fucking bust through their fucking paradigms, you know? Because that's really what it's going to take is to say racism is wrong. We have to fight racism. Racism is tied to the whole fucking game. It's a thread that runs right to the spinal cord, you know, in the spinal cord. You know, it's not the, as a comrade in Chicago says, it's not like a byproduct of capitalism, like sawdust. It's the saw. It's the thing that's doing the fucking work of capitalism. But anyway, like, yeah, my own journey. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess, I think that, like, I've considered Black liberation struggle to be, awe-inspiring, to be honest. You know, it's what, where so much, where I think all our hope lies as a fucking human species. You know, I don't think that's overstating it. I think that that's the historical conjuncture that Africans have found themselves because of chattel slavery, really, and everything that's come after. The historical weird ass circumstances of this history, human history, have put Africans at, like, and indigenous people, and more broadly, you know, to be honest, at a position where, like, they're the historical change agents, like they're the real, like the masters of, or not the masters, but the I think human survival depends on their self-assertion. You know what I mean?
I hear it. So how did you first come to that, though? How did blackness matter to you, right? Personally, because that's not like, I know Evergreen. It's not like you surrounded by Black people up in Evergreen, Colorado. Like, how does that? Where's?
Yeah, I didn't like the Black dudes that were in my high school. They were jackasses. There were only a couple of them. You know what I mean? But it wasn't about that. Like, first of all, I wanted to get away from my, like, upbringing as quickly as I could. I wanted to be in the middle of a city, you know, like exposed to human beings. You know what I mean? Not this weird small grouping. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know. I think it was like from a very young age, like through being taught about the civil rights struggle, and through just reacting on a very instinctive level against racism in particular, but against gender oppression, you know, as well, and other shit, you know. So, you know, I was caught, like, reading, and I guess I've gone back and forth. Like, I've had a political journey, but, like, I was attracted to socialism for that reason, from an early age, because I thought that, like, you know, Malcolm X said it, and I mean, you know, all the fucking quotes. Like, everybody says you can't have capital. Like, Malcolm X said you can't have capitalism without racism. Like, when did Malcolm X come into your life? It wasn't soon enough for me, but my daughters read him at 12 and 14 this summer, last summer. But Malcolm X was like well, back to, like, hip hop being an education. Like, hip hop brought me to Malcolm X, you know. And okay, so there, that goes back to, like, something more personal. Like, I was into punk rock when I was young, and then, like, Run DMC and like some hip hop, like, got through, and then I remember when like the Eazy-E tape came out first, right before the NWA, and that was when I was still in high school, and Public Enemy, and getting turned on to Public Enemy, and then. But actually, no. Before all that was, if we're talking about hip hop, like political hip hop, was Illegal Business, KRS-One. Like,
Illegal business, Iran, America, drug
yeah, yeah.
business.
It's like
Yes.
him the other day about his patois. I was like,
Oh
oh,
my
really?
God. It was the worst fucking patois. Just, it made Shaggy's patois sound fucking like, yeah, yeah, that's pretty good.
But when I was in high school, when I was in high school, we were like, we broke into a car and we got a little gun. My friend got a little gun from under their seat, and I got a bunch of cassette tapes. And one was Erasure, which was like, I'm here for it. I listened
Yeah.
to the shit out of the tape. And then one was KRS-One, Illegal Business. And that
Oh,
was in
yeah.
like 87, 88, you know? Um,
That
and
makes sense because that came out like 86. Yeah.
okay, okay. I knew I was driving, so I got my driver's license in 87. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that makes perfect sense, right? Because remember when we had tapes, that shit would be in your car for like 2 years. Like
yeah,
is it,
yeah,
that's where the tapes go. What do you mean?
yeah. So that was great. That was real transformative for me. But like and then we got serious about it, but also we studied politics
Hmm.
in college, and then we became activists in college, both of us. I know that. Um, but in a way that can be, being tied up in like the academic side can be an actually de-radicalizing thing for a lot
Yeah,
of people.
yeah.
And it can, and I think it actually caused me a lot of confusion because there were a
Mm.
lot of different ideas, like postmodernism, like as it was taught in like philosophy and like in the political science department,
Hmm.
was
Hmm.
really, I think, confusing. But anyway, um, but yeah, yeah. So yeah, some hip hop, and uh, definitely like just a real fucking organic attraction. And then, you know, uh, moving to LA, I went to USC, which is like uh, in the hood. It's at the north side of South Central, basically. Um, and it's like mostly middle class white or upper middle class white kids like me, you know. Um, and but everybody rejected the neighborhood, and I thought it was the best thing about being at USC was to be like, I don't know, like connected to a living culture in a city that like or multiple like overlapping cultures,
Right, right, right.
uh, um, and yeah, I was really like, I loved LA and that stuff, and made good friends in the neighborhood and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, like you were alluding to, you were trying to set me up for like, saying that I participated in the riots. I totally did. I was out there. I got arrested. um, I got arrested I got set up because of pissing off a cop. He caught up to me later and planted a weapon on me and said that I was brandishing a machete against them. Um,
Mm.
which, I always had to say, unfortunately, I actually didn't do that. I always had to tell that part, say that in the story. Um, but yeah, no, unfortunately, I didn't do that. But I was like supportive of the rebellion. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like was out there as much as I could be. Once I got arrested, I kind of sat on the bench. But uh,
Yeah, getting arrested puts a taste in your mouth if it's unexpected.
yeah, yeah, makes you want to just be good until you get it sorted out.
That's
Like
kind of
that's
exactly what it makes you want.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But fortunately, in this rebellion, which has been like much bigger, actually, the George
Right.
Floyd rebellion, like the new Black Lives Matter like rebellion, has, I didn't think I would live to see another fucking riot. You know what I mean? And like Denver went the fuck off for five
Yeah.
nights,
Wow.
and like I was glad to be there every goddamn night.
Yeah, you
And
stayed in the streets.
yeah, yeah. I think, I don't know. It's a beautiful explosion, and always justified. You know, any movement of the oppressed is fucking justified. So, and any movement against oppression,
Right on, right
because
on.
it, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, no, I mean that's the shit. That's the shit. And like it's, you know, I don't know. A lot of people see that's the other thing, you know, and that's one of the other things. Is a lot of people see some of the white folks who are out here on these front lines and doing the work that y'all doing right now. And certainly I'm talking about in those communities wherein it is predominantly white people who are on the front lines. You know, every community is different locally. There are black women, brown women, femmes who are both in the streets, right? And guiding the practices of many of the white women who do end up on the front line. And many of the others who try to claim credit who were maybe on the front line in a particular moment and in a photo or whatever. As always happens, right? But it always happens, and it is part of a perpetual movement. I agree. We're very, very fortunate to have witnessed this kind of transition and a sustained global transition like this, a sustained global rebellion. I mean, you know, there was a drive. The protest drive came by the street earlier today. Ain't shit stopped. Ain't shit different.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Welcome to day 3, motherfucker. Buckle up. Coming for you too.
That's awesome.
You know.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's
Well,
good
like
shit.
some comrades think that like we're, you know, because of all the varieties of pressures that this system puts on people, that we're in a you know, like a prolonged state of crisis and a prolonged state, more importantly, of rebellion. And I don't know if that's true. Like, I guess I'm, you know, the rebellion, like definitely crisis, but the rebellion part, you know, crisis is to be like, we cannot avoid crisis.
Yeah.
Rebellion is something that is magical and that doesn't always come about in direct response to crisis. Sometimes it erupts and sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes people just remain in fucking crisis.
Absolutely.
You know? And so like the rebellion is the opportunity, and that's where people's minds change. That's where people decide to do different things that can actually break this, you know, ultimately lead to breaking the system. You know?
That's it. My friend, thank you so much for sharing some of this time under the philosophy tree with me.
I'm so stoned. Did I make any fucking sense?
I don't know. Probably. Yeah, I think so. I think we got to some shit. Hey, you were talking about you have the Denver Communist meetings. I know that's moved to an online Zoom proposition that's open to the public. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody interested in socialists, fuck off cops, fuck off infiltrators, but we'll root you out. but anybody who's sincere and interested, I don't know why I said that, but like, you know, it's weird.
Fuck off
like,
cops and fuck off infiltrators. Zoom meetings, they come. That's why. Nah, fuck y'all. Welcome friends, fuck you enemies. All right, so
but if you're sincere and you're interested, please come through. We're nice folks, you know.
Right on. And so they can look for that. That is a Zoom meeting. It is the Denver Communist meetings, Wednesdays at what time?
6 Denver time. 6
p.m. Mountain. 6 p.m. Mountain. So all you East Coast, West Coast people, I know you get very confused.
Figure it out. You know, we have to figure it out all the time.
Google it. Fucking Google it. Figure it out. It really is not that hard. There's only 4 zones. You've been doing this a long time. It's fucking ridiculous. James Rotten, thank you so much. Thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for being in these streets.
Thank you.
Thank you for spending this time. This is great.
Yeah.
And I miss you.
I miss you too.
My bones ache. They're trying to jump out of my skin, trying to get at you right now. This sucks.
Well, it's not like I was holding back or anything that I wouldn't have said anyway, but we should talk off camera sometime.
Absolutely. Let's do it again very soon.
All right, man.
All right.
Take
I
care.
love you, my friend. Thank you so much. Hey, family. There he is again. I'm showing you his picture, not mine. There's mine. Give it up for James Rodden, please. What's happening with the applause? Hey, there you go. Hey, Joshua, can we work on the applause button? I don't know. I don't know what happened. Here, I'm going to try it again. James Rodden. James Rodden. James Rodden. And you can see and hear more and actually interact directly yourself if you would like to do such a thing. And you should like to do such a thing. Quite a delightful chap. Challenging ideas wrapped in a delightful cuddly package, and you want to get some of that at the Denver Communist meetings. That is open to the public. That is Wednesday evenings at 6 p.m. de la Montaña. And yeah, get you some education. It's not going to hurt you. This has been another episode of Smoke and Mirrors. Hey, feel free to go ahead and peek at us at the IG. That is Smoke and Mirrors CCB. That is for the comedy, the culture, and the blackness. You can also holler at us at the Twitters at Caballo Negrito. For the monolingual set in the crowd, Caballo Negrito means don't try to smoke with me. You will get higher than you think. Hey, do you have a thought, question, query, a guest who you think should be on the show, or other thing to say to us? Feel free to reach out at Smoke and Mirrors CCB. That is comedy, culture, and blackness at gmail.com. Race traitors, welcome. Race haters, fuck off. This is an episode that is produced. This is an event. Of course, this episode and every episode and this event is produced and hosted by myself, Carlos Kareem Wyndham. This is also produced by the one and only Tracy Tatamy. Hey, do me a favor. Would you take care of yourself? Take care of each other. Please don't go out in these streets unless you do want to go out in these streets, and then you can go out in these streets if you want to, but you're going to get Rona. It'd be better if you don't, because don't go in these streets. But if you do go in the streets, wear a mask. It's not political anymore. We're in a post-mask political world now. When you come back inside, wash your hands, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I hope to see you back here again tomorrow. Why? Well, it's because I love you. All right, family. We'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.